Chapter 116. Eve's Death. Also the children of the world in the depths, when receiving the news of Adam's death, mourned deeply and fasted for 3 days. And Lamech, who at that time still lived faithfully and well for a long time, sent messengers to all regions of the earth, and let all the reachable nations know about Adam's death. And wherever the news reached, soon a deep mourning took place, and all lamented and wept for the loss of the patriarch. But now Eve's reputation increased substantially. And it happened not infrequently that whole processions from all sides went up to the heights to see and greet the matriarch. Even envoys from Sihin, China, came to the mountains of the children of God and visited Eve, because also they learned from the messenger of Lamech that the patriarch Adam had died. But the Canaanites, Africa, and the Medjuhidites, Japan, did not receive the news, for these two nations were at that time completely separated from the residents of the mainlands. But Eve, the many consolations notwithstanding, was deeply saddened until her death. Even Enoch's consolations were unable to lighten her heart. Only Seth could often have a benevolent effect on Eve's heart, for he was always her favourite, because his face resembled Adam completely, as well as his size, and also the tone of his speech. Thus also these 30 years went by in a good general order, and when the measure of Eve's life was full, also she was called away by the Lord. "3 days before Eve's death, when Seth, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, and Lamech surrounded the already very weak matriarch, the spirit of Adam appeared by admittance of the Lord in the dwelling, saying, 'Children, be blessed. Peace be with you, and do not be afraid of me, because I am Adam, who begot all of you in the flesh by the grace of the Almighty, eternal, living God. Behold, the Lord, who had mercy on me already 30 years ago, now also has mercy on my faithful Eve, and wants to redeem her from the earth, and from her more than tedious and weak flesh, so that also she can now enter into my tranquillity of life, and as a tame and gentle lamb, graze together with me on the sacred pasturage of the mercies of God. The spirit of Sihel has redeemed me, but I myself will release Eve from her earthly burden, and will lead her to where I am, waiting in the sweet rest of that day which, according to the promise, will one day rise on earth as a son of sons.' Here, Enoch asked the Spirit, 'And when precisely will you do this, and what should happen to the mother's body?' And the Spirit of Adam said, 'Not I, but the Lord is your master. On the 3rd day from today is the due date, but what you have to do, the Lord will tell you as always.' Here the spirit of Adam disappeared, But on the third day he came back, only visible to Enoch and Eve. And Eve blessed all the children present and praised God for this grace. And the spirit of Adam said so that all could hear him, Eve, my blessing united with yours, which you have given the children. Thus it is the Lord's will that also you return home, and thus come into my arms in the name of the Lord. Amen. Here Eve fell to the ground and was dead, and her soul immediately disappeared with the spirit of Adam, and was henceforth not seen again. Thus the mother departed, surrounded by her children, and reunited again in the spirit of Adam, was admitted to the spiritual arms, and led to peace in the Lord. Her body was, according to the will of the Lord, buried at the same place by those who also buried Adam, and no one was allowed to know where the place was. Also, Eve's death led to years of mourning, and caused many to go into hiding, and began to lead a very pious life. Eve's death affected particularly powerfully the citizens of the evening, who now called themselves Abadamites, because Abadam was also a favourite of Eve, and she everything to him. This was then also the end of Eve,